Hi, hey, hello everybody. This is Jeff from the Icebox Radio Theater, and this is Freezer Treats, the podcast feature where we thaw out, unearth as it would, one of the wonderful morsels from the past of the Icebox Radio Theater and give you the links to go listen to the entire play if you so desire. And today we're going to go way back to the 2000s and listen to a section of a play entitled A Distant Land. It's part of the Tales from the Rack podcast feed, and it is the story of an inspector, someone in a universe in which Earth has colonized many, many planets all over the galaxy, and she is returning to her hometown, a small mining outpost far, far away from Earth, where something terrible has been going on. Here is Anna Remus, Tom Bement, and Jim Yunt in a scene from A Distant Land.
Honestly, Mr. Woolsey, when was the last time anyone worked this mine?
Well, let's see. John, do you
2.5 years.
Uh-huh. And in your opinion, Mr. Woolsey, is this mine played out?
Oh, Leona, please call me Cyrus.
What about you, Doctor? Do you think this mine is played out? Do you think its usefulness is at an end?
Why don't you tell me what you think?
You'll get a copy of my report.
But what do you think? What are your first impressions?
That this pit has a good 5 years left in it, maybe more. And there's room for expansion. Offhand, I'd say there's 30 years left in this mine.
Well, now, Leona...
School children have no place to go to school. Basic jobs like space traffic control are ignored. The pilot corps are well aware of Fairhaven and the fact that it's not a good place to be.
I hardly think the opinion of a couple of...
Let her finish.
At one point, this was a thriving colony. An outpost of civilization. Okay, so maybe it was a long way off the track, but it was still a place that had a future. And now I don't know what it is. Well, what happened, Mr. Woolsey?
That's not really the question, is it?
What do you mean?
The question isn't what happened to the colony. The question is what happened to the colony's people.
All right, what happened to the colony's people?
Oh, John.
She has to know.
But are you sure?
Do you know a way around it? You want to see what happened?
Yes.
Then come with me. I'm sure you recognize this.
Of course, it's the old transport system. These have been phased out in most colonies.
Mm-hmm. A pilot that was here last year told me it was the only one still operational in the quadrant.
That's right. This line is the point of pride for the whole community.
Yes, it is. Notice anything interesting about it, Leona?
I'm not sure what you mean.
The school is falling down. The landing field, covered with weeds. The mine, by your own estimation, still a viable commodity left to rust. But this line is in perfect working order.
And you're going to tell me why that's significant?
Look at it. These are old heavy metal contacts. They need to be lubricated by hand or else the car will freeze up. The cabling was steel, originally from Earth. We've had to replace it 3 times. Do you know how much that cost us last time? Raw steel from Earth?
Oh, John, please.
It cost more money than this colony actually had.
You're beginning to catch on. When we were kids, there were 5 of these lines. Take you out from the settlement to the furthest reaches of the colony. Do you recognize the one we're on?
This is the lake line, isn't it?
Yes. I remember when they finished this system. I must have been 9 or 10.
I do too.
Remember how they used to talk in those days? Colonists working together for the good of everyone? This is going to be the transport system to connect us all. The other 4 lines, they went to the mine, or out to the farmers' fields, or places like that. They were intended to haul goods and supplies and take people to and from work. Do you remember what this line was for?
Yes.
This line was for recreation.
Lake Abershaw.
Beautiful Lake Abershaw. The reason most of our families chose this colony. The mine was hard work and the soil was poor for the farmers, and we were a hell of a long way from everything. But there were those weekends at the lake to make it all worthwhile. Do you remember the line? Do you remember how it goes?
We're over the gorge.
That's right. Remember spitting out into the gorge even when our parents told us not to?
Yes.
So what's next?
The line will go up slightly to crest that hill, then the lake will be on the other side.
That's right. There we go. The engine's always trained just a bit to make it over that hill.
John, stop the car.
Why, Woolsey? What could ever be the matter?
We have to explain to her. We can't let her see.
See? Well, that's the point, isn't it, Woolsey? That's why we're in this car, going toward the lake. We're going to let her see, because a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Well, Leona, you have to understand, we have an aging population. Life can be very hard out here in the colonies.
Very hard, huh?
It's not the same colony you grew up in. But there is a place for us, I'm sure, if the administration would only understand.
What are you talking about?
The Berba trees have grown in around the line again. You won't see the lake until we get through them.
I'm begging you, stop the car.
Why?
To give me a chance to explain.
There is no explanation. You're just floundering around trying to buy yourself some time.
Oh, John, for God's sake.
God is what we're all about around here. Enjoying his creation.
That's blasphemy.
It's the truth. Leona, I'm sure you read up on the current condition of Fairhaven before coming. What does Administration Central say about our population?
Last records said you had about 3,000.
Not bad, given the way Woolsey keeps up the official communicates. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's actually around 2,400.
Fine, what does the population have to do with the lake?
We're coming up to the Berba trees. Once the car goes through them, you'll see. There it is. Beautiful Lake Abershaw.
I don't understand.
Now, if you want to know what happens next, you simply have to go to the Tales from the Rack podcast feed, which is available in the show notes, and check it out. The direct episode feed is there, or link, I should say, is there as well. A Distant Land originally appeared as 2 episodes, a part 1 and a part 2, and that is how you will find it on the Tales from the Rack feed. This link, incidentally, is to the part 1 of the story. Well, that does it for this edition of Freezer Treats. I'll be back in another week with another morsel from the deep freeze of the Icebox Radio Theater.